Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Koti. Thanks for joining. Today I want to discuss with what is AWS Management Console, how to create an account, how to configure AWS credentials. Okay, let's get started, please. Okay, so let's Google AWS Console. Okay, basically, this AWS Management Console is a graphical user interface to access AWS components. Components means whether it is any services, databases, any infrastructure basically. So here, let's click sign into the console option. And if we scroll down, here you see an option create a new AWS account. So click on that in case if you don't have one already. And please give your email address and your account name, and it would click on verify email address. So once after your email address is verified, it will take you through the rest of the process to create AWS account with the root user. So in that process, you might need to give your payment details as well, but please don't worry. So very little money would be taken out initially, but after that, that would be refunded as well. So yeah, I have already created one. So let's now log into the account with my existing credentials. Root user, select root user, and this is my email. Give password and sign in. This is the landing page. I would get, once after I log into the AWS Management Console. Like I said earlier, AWS Management Console is a graphical user interface where you could access different AWS components. For example, if I want to access EC2, I could search for EC2. Here in this top search bar, I could see search for EC2, and then it will take me to the EC2. Similarly, if you again click this AWS, see this AWS, there's an arrow underneath that one. So if you click on that one, it you could see the search bar again. So again you could search for some other component, whatever the component you want. So yeah. So here, this is the region currently I logged into. So for example, when I created user automatically, this is the region I have been allocated to. Uh, I will show you later how to configure the region. Currently, my region was configured wrongly. It For some reason, the system automatically picked up my region, and it is wrong. I can show you later how to configure that one correctly. And here, this is my username, my root username, and here, if you underneath that one, if you click that one, I click on billing and cost management. So here you could check your bills, your payments, and stuff like that. If you want to check your usages, there are options are there, so you could check that one. So see billing, payment preferences, billing preferences, cost management preferences. So you can play with all these options later. So that is some general stuff. Okay. So But the thing I wanted to show you is when you create an account with AWS user, initially for up to 12 months, you get some entitlement under AWS free tier. So let me show you that. So AWS free tier. Okay, if you Google that, if you scroll down, you could see here. Yeah, you could see here. So here it says that for EC2 for 12 months, you could get up to 750 hours of free time per month for each month, not for 12 months. For each month, up to 12 months, you could get 750 hours free. Similarly, for S3 also, for 12 months, you get up to 5 GB. So similarly, you could see all the remaining allowances for different services. For some of the services, you get uh, always free as well. So you could check all these things, but usually all these allowances are more than enough for your basic need and for the demonstration purpose, like I am showing now. But it is always better to set up some alarms in case for whatever reason you exceed those limits. So I think that could be done in if you go to the cloud watch. Here under alarms you could see billing, so you could click on that one. So here if you create alarm. So here you could specify when you want to create an alarm. So basically you could specify the limit after which you want to be notified. For example, here if you want to be notified whenever your bill is $0.2 or $0.5, so you can select whether your bill is when your bill is over that amount or when bill is greater than or equals to that amount. You could choose all these options here, and then when you click next here, and here configure notifications, you could click next. Alarm, one second. Billing alarm, create an alarm. One second. Create alarm. Yeah, so you here you could yeah, like I said, specify equal 0.1, and next. In alarm, select an existing create a new topic. Use topic ARN to notify other accounts. Send notifications to in alarm. These are different stages actually. When when you are in alarm, okay means your usage is well within that limit, and yeah, and what you want to do, whether you want to trigger any lambda action if that alarm triggers things like that, you can do that. But you can just specify the basic alarm. For now, for example, if I want to create a new topic, on top this is the default topic name, and also you can choose the email. I can give my email. Okay, and create topic. Okay, and I can click next. I can click next here. Alarm name, alarm. Okay, so now my alarm was set up. So whenever that limit is exceeded, I would be notified through that email. So similarly, yeah, I think it takes some time to refresh that alarm I have just created. Okay. Yeah. So the other thing I want to uh, tell is, for example, what is an email? So this root, this is a root user account. So this has the supreme power. So if you want to do anything, you can do with this account. So that's why you should not share this account to anyone. So whenever you want to give your AWS credentials to different users, like for developers, for testers, you have to create always it is the one of the best practices to give corresponding users with appropriate user privileges. So for developers, it is always recommended to give the permissions up to requirement. I mean, yeah, least possible requirements you have to give. You should not share with your root user credentials with them. Okay. So now that brings us to the topic how to create users. Okay. So if for that you have to go to IAM. So here is IAM. Users. For example, I want to create a new user, and okay, this is the username I want to give, and I want to give permission to console as well. No, I want IAM user, and I don't want to auto generate password. I want it to be custom, and also I don't want to create new password next time when I log in. We add user group. Currently, I don't have any user groups, so that's why I'm going to create one. So here I am going to specify dev group. Okay. And also permissions. Here you can choose the permission whatever you want. So usually for development, like I said, it is always best practice to give the least possible permissions. For example, if I want to work with EC2, there is so easy to full access stuff like that. And if you want even granular permission, you can give in the EC2 also there are different granular one as well. Rather than giving full, you can choose these options. But for demonstration purpose, this is not, I'm not working in any production now, so this is just for demonstration purpose. I don't want to tweak my permissions regularly, so that's why for time being I am going to choose this administrator access. And I'm going to, so basically that means I am giving this administrator access to this group, and I am creating this user group. And so now I am adding this user group, okay, to my dev user, and I'm going to click next. Yeah, and new tag. This is completely optional, but developer purpose only. Okay, I'm going to uh, create user. So return to users list. So download CSV file. Okay, and I'm going to return to users list. So if I go to my users list, you see here, I get this user here. So like I said, that one, if you want to uh, give any developer, you should give this user. You should never hand over your root user credentials. So from next time onwards, I'm going to log in with my dev user rather than with my root user. Okay. So let me log out, sign out. Once after you create a specific user, you can log in with that user, and you can make whatever you want. I mean, for development or testing, whatever. Sign into the console. AWS account ID. This is my account ID. This is my user. This is my password. And yeah. So yeah, I logged in with my developer user. So yeah, so this is one way of accessing AWS console. One accessing AWS components. I mean AWS management console is one way of accessing AWS console. There are other ways as well. So for example, AWS CLI, that is command line interface. Uh, like AWS management console is a GUI, AWS CLI is a command line interface. So if you want to, that is totally optional. But if you want to, in some cases, that is going to be very handy as well. So if you want to install that one, you can uh, type AWS CLI download here. Okay? And here you can choose the operating system you want, and you can go through the installation process. Yeah. So once after you install that one, so if you want to check whether your installation is successful or not, you can open this one and check, for example, AWS minus minus version. Okay, so I got this response. That means my AWS CLI installation is successful. So next thing is, mm, we need to configure AWS credentials. So for that, before doing that, so we have to generate AWS access key and secret access key for development purpose, or to access from our local development environment, etc. We should never use username and password. We should always use AWS access key and access key and there is one more key. I could not remember. Yeah. So the way how to generate that one is, if you go here, click on security credentials. Here access keys. So here create one. Uh, so here if you see here, uh, the use case is command line interface, local mode. I want this one. I want this one. So if you see here, for some reason here I'm not able to select all this. I need to at the minute, for some reason I'm able to select only any of these. So for timing, let us get started with this other, and if required later, we can come back here and then tweak it a bit. I don't know why I am not able to select all this. Yeah, let's proceed. And description tag value, developer access key, create access key. Yeah, so yeah, you need this access key and secret access key for later purpose to configure your environment. So let us download these files now. Okay, so now I'm done. I am done. Okay, so now if you want to configure, there are basically multiple ways to configure AWS credentials. One of the way is to configure through the command line, and the other way is you can directly specify these credentials in your application dot properties or application dot YAML file also, or else you can specify environment variables, and then you can refer those environment variables in your source code as well. There are other ways as well, like you can access these from your secret manager. But for timing, let us configure those details from here, I mean from command line. So the way to do that one is AWS configure. Okay, So it is asking for my access key. So let me, if I go to my download, if see this is the file I got here. Not this one. Other case, yeah, this one. This is the secret access key. And region, yeah, I want this region only. U West 2. Okay. And JSON, yes, I want JSON only. Yeah. So now my AWS credentials are configured successfully. So the way to check that one is if they are configured successfully in your home folder. So this is my home folder. You could see a .aws folder getting created with these two files inside. So that means my AWS credentials are configured successfully. The other way to check that one is you can basically check it. You can try to access any of the AWS services from the command line and see whether you are able to access it or not. For example, AWS uh, S3 API. Yeah, see, I got the response, so that means my configuration is successful. Okay, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching my video, and please don't forget to like my video if this is helpful for you, and also for the latest update, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. I see you soon.